In March of this year, I covered the TLC special called Big City, Big Family. Following the Delamotte family of 13 living in New York City, following Amber Delamotte's lost childhood dreams of playing music, okay? So the hour-long special that TLC aired was covering this large family who moved to New York City after the family's eldest daughter got a full-ride scholarship to Juilliard. When we watched this episode, we learned that they were paying $12,000 a month for rent, and the reason that they moved to New York City was essentially to keep an eye on their 20-year-old daughter who was going to Juilliard. I know I just said the same thing, whatever. They also dove into how the husband, Mark, makes half of the rent where they were living, which is something that we're going to talk about. And the kids are forced to play on the street corners of New York City to come up with the other half. At the end of the special, Mark had suggested that maybe they should move out of New York City, but that wasn't an option for Amber, painting her as a control freak who gives her kids no right to pursue the careers or their own personal dreams of their own, as she has them starting playing music from a very young age. Also, she sits there and tries to deter their thinking of what they're going to do with their lives. However, in a curiosity mind of mine, I decided to take a look at their YouTube channel, and on April 30th of this year, I understand it's June, we are late, I've been saving this for content, Amber posted this video. We got some really bad news. Now, I watched this entire video so that y'all didn't have to, and that's what sparked like this little update. So number one, Amber was talking in so many circles that I got dizzy. And she made it out to be like everybody around her is at fault but herself and her husband. These are my opinions. These are my sole opinion. The big bad news of this YouTube video was that they need to move out of the place that they are living in New York City by July 15th because her landlord is selling like the apartment. I think it's an apartment or like a condo. She essentially blames her neighbor who has been complaining about the noise from the instruments, where she openly admits that until recently she didn't even know like the noise rules until he called the cops on the Delamotte family. So what that tells me is these kids are playing music from the minute they wake up when they're at home and not out making money on the streets of New York City so they can pay their rent until 10, 11 o'clock at night for someone to have to call the cops. She also sat in the video and cited several court cases that the petitioner was suing over the noise and had no legal grounds to mask the fact that her kids were playing for like 14 hours plus a day. She also said that the kids are still busking to help pay the bills because she said several times that they are broke with no savings, to the point where the comments have called her out for making this update video to essentially like offer to donate or watch their videos. Number 5, I got the absolute vibes in her YouTube video that she was hoping that TLC would pick them up for a new show instead of the 1-hour special to get a literal series, for the sole purpose that 38 minutes into the 1-hour episode, she mentions that whole thing with the potential reality TV show, and it didn't go as she expected it to. She said because they are nobodies, she got the villain edit, and there were things she rage baited to pique interest, and then she went off on 3 different tangents about TikTok and behind the scenes of TLC footage. And she continuously brought up other TLC shows, but specifically she kept bringing up the Duggars. Continuously brought up how the Duggars made so much money as a conservative Christian family that she almost seems dumbfounded that TLC didn't see that with them because TLC has a different audience now. Like, sister, you have your 13 children playing music on the streets of New York City. You openly admitted to help pay your rent. Okay. So basically she also said that their management company said they got low ratings and TLC is not pursuing a show with them, but she blamed it on TLC. She was like, well, the Duggars this and Sister Wives that and Welcome to Plathville this, and I used to watch the Duggars and they were a conservative Christian family and they made so much money. Why didn't they see that? lady, it's just not going to happen for you, okay? So, number 6, quite a few of the older kids have been accepted into Juilliard, which is amazing news, but now Amber has literally more reasons to control her adult kids' lives. She did mention that if they can't find housing in New York City, that they do have a trailer that they can go to if they cannot find housing. She also, the bullet point number 8 that I wrote is she talks about how a lot of her kids who are like getting into their adult years are getting a lot of school offers, but in her mind, Juilliard is the only school for her kids. And the 9th point that I made was this, the video that she made, this one right here, was an extremely hard watch. She almost seemed manic. Like she couldn't stay on topic. She was switching back and forth, blaming everybody but herself. And several comments also said this. I don't really follow them exclusively, but Amber tends to say like something that she means the truth on, in my opinion, and then covers it up with like 2,000 other stories to hide what she originally said. So that is the update. They have to move out of that apartment that TLC filmed them in. They're not getting a show, and I mean, I don't know. That's the update on the Delamont family. They're not getting a show and a story, and if they did, God, can you say Jim Bob Duggar 2.0? Literally. Kim Plath 2.0? Literally.